Holla ballers! And a bro fist to you all! It's Drama Friday. We have got some messed up shit. We're talking lesbians, all girl, bukkake, all the goodness, with the better half, the better looking half of Preach Gaming. Nah. Come on. Sorry, mate. Didn't realise it. I was practicing.
Welcome everybody to Drama Friday. I hope everyone's feeling fucking spiffing. Imposter! No imposter was required. No way. Nothing happened. You missed it. It's a lie. It's a lie. It is, of course, a bank holiday here in the fucking UK, which means I was unaware of it because it doesn't exist to me. But other people told me it's a day off work. Freebie. Take that day. Take that day and go and relax. And we're going to go and watch some fucking Spider-Man Deuce. That's right, a Spider-Man Deuce featuring that guy who's going to play Electro, who I really don't like.
Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx. Jamie fucking Foxx can kiss my ass. But that's not why we're here today, people, because it's Drama Friday. Those of you who joined us from work, I'm glad that you've managed to find a job where you can spend your final hours watching me on a live stream. And thank God, God bless those IT guys who unlock twitch.tv. What absolute heroes they are. I've got 3 stories lined up for you. I am on a limit of time, however, because they're really long. And I'll just give you a teaser. I'll drop a teaser on your face. Just for you guys. Of a title that involves abortions, travelling, multiple guild destructions, and a lot of sex. A lot of sex. So we might get into that, but we're going to start off with a little newbie story. I just want to say a big hello to all of you. We're going to start off with a newbie story. I love the newbie stories. If you're not familiar with Drama Friday, because you're just looking for people to rage on vent while you were searching the YouTubes and you came across me and was like, what the fuck? Drama Friday is where we tell the stories of us meeting those crazy bastards in World of Warcraft or any other MMO, where we're playing with millions upon millions of people and we discover that it doesn't matter what country you come from, what religion you are, what sex you are, what persuasion you are, people are fucking crazy. Crazy bastards exist everywhere, all the goddamn time. So let's tell a story about it. And let's relive our horrible memories in good fun. In good fun. A short story about the stubborn priestess. We're age 14. We're age 14. We're age 14. Oh... You know it's good when there's a couple of pubes on the pitch and we're ready to go. I started playing WoW in late vanilla, age of 14, and made, of course, Night Elf. Night Elf Druid, female, of course, and I set out to explore the world. Didn't get too far, though. I was new to the concept of questing. Objective-based play is newfangled. So I did a few quests and decided and came to the conclusion that quests take too long. Too much like hard work. I had killed mobs all the way to level 11 with nothing but my staff. Best druid. When I was told by an IRL friend that I could in fact get bear form if I did a quest. If you do our quest, you will get the bear form. I tried my hardest to get the quest done. It took me 3 days to get bear form. 3 days. Failing to kill the Moonkin that granted me the ability, I finally did it. Filled with a feeling of accomplishment, I turned in the quest and went back to Darkshore to try my sparkling new badass shapeshift. Only to find that bear form is complete horseshit compared to using a staff. One must ask the question, were you doing it right? We must consider the fact that you may not have been doing it right. After getting my face kicked in by some Planestriders, I emo quit, deleted my druid, instead created, thankfully, what every age 14 player in the world needs, a Night Elf Hunter.
We had them, mate.
Night Elf Hunters. Night Elf Hunters. My experience as a hunter was the classic one for anyone who's ever played a hunter and don't know shit about the game. In some cases, However, I was exceptionally retarded and gullible. It's nice to admit that one is exceptionally retarded and gullible. Exceptionally retarded and gullible. At one time, an in-game friend, who was also a hunter, showed me his new wind serpent pet. Me, who had only ever played Alliance and therefore had never seen the hordes of wind serpents that roamed the barrens, had my mind blown. This dude had a freaking dragon fighting for him. I begged him to tell me where he got it. He told me. It's a secret. It's a secret. It's a secret. Hey, don't tell anybody. It's a bit of a secret. It's a bit of a secret. Only a chosen few hunters get to know where to find the wind serpent. I begged him for the entire evening. And then he told me where to find them. I was off to tame my own dragon. Believing the lie, I was now one of the initiated few who had to find this glorious beast. I was the happiest guy in the world. Until I told another in-game friend about it. This other friend then took me to the Barrens, and in shame I abandoned my wind serpent and got my cat back. I like the idea that there might be things like that in game. There are secrets among the chosen few of a class. There's only a few people who know the secrets of the wind serpent and where it can be found. But no, it's not going to happen. Alpha Notes will destroy it. As a hunter, I explored the world, but not the content. I knew from the beginning that I was probably the worst DPS in the world, so I never bothered! I like that! I'm terrible! I'm fucking awful at this game! And I'm alright with it, and I'm going to leave it there. And I'm content to just be a fucking piece of shit burden to everybody I meet. I didn't even know what a tank was, so that was out of the question, but I decided that I'm now going to be a healer. Do you now understand why your healers play in such a way? Do you now know why, after nearly a year of Mists of Pandaria, I did Temple of the Jade Serpent and wiped on the last boss because the healer still cannot dispel that debuff? It happened. It happened yesterday. Oh, woe is me. Woe is me to see this happen. Oh. And so I created the only thing I could, a Night Elf Priest. Slowly, I set off on a quest to hit 60 as a strictly holy spect priest who thought that questing was a waste of time. I thought I was winning the game. Winning the game because I rarely died as my holy priest. I'm winning the game. The mobs took a century to kill, but I never had to corpse run. I didn't quite understand how to heal. So when I went into instances, I was the clicker of clickers. I thought healing worked like this. I would click the heal, and then before the cast ended, I would have to aim the heal at whoever I wanted to actually heal. That's how I decided that healing worked. People kept dying. And I got shouted at all the time. Ready? Ready? How did Renew work? Come on now. How did Renew work? That's what I want to know. Prayer of Mending must have baffled your fucking brain. I figured that the best healers in the game must be the ones that have the best aim. Right? Because I've only ever played Call of Duty. And that's all I know. He must have sick aim. Nobody died in this fucking dungeon. What a fucking guy. Luckily around this time I had discovered that you can have... Oh my god. No, he'd been playing for about 6 months. Luckily, about this time, I discovered that you can in fact have more than one action bar on the screen at the same time. Thank God. Before that, however, I thought I was stuck with the basic 12 buttons and had to choose which spells were important to me to put on the bars. If a spell was asked for that I didn't have on my bar, I would flick open the spell book mid-combat. When I was playing my hunter, this caused quite a few deaths since I was too busy chanting the alphabet out loud to find a certain spell in the spell book. Why don't you use misdirect? Fucking hell. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. When the priest hit level 52, my motivation was at an all-time low. Killing mobs was so hard and the leveling just took forever. I got a suggestion from an in-game friend that I should try out Shadow. since that was how you DPS. He guaranteed that Shadow would be faster than Holy. I went to Ironforge, got specced, and dueled said friends at the gate to try it out. What a great way to try out a new spec, just to duel people. Since this was the time before target dummies, I instantly thought Shadow was dog shit. There were so many spells to use and keep track of. As Holy, I really only needed to use Smite. Because I thought Holy Fire took too long to cast. Holy Fire, ridiculous spell. 3.5 second cast. Smite, kicking ass and taking names. Shadow Priest had all kinds of spells and dots that needed to be clicked. I can't click all these buttons and aim them at the same time. Are you insane? How can I possibly manage this? Are you fucking mad? For a clicker, it was especially frustrating. I barely walked out outside the gates of Ironforge before I doubled back to the Priest train and went back to Holy. I capped out just a few months before the release of the Burning Crusade. And I was off to Outland. In the Burning Crusade, a new talent was introduced. The Surge of Light. For me, it basically meant that if I critted with Smite, I got another Smite for free. And it would be instant cast. This talent made me feel like a badass. Because every once in a while, I would get so many procs in a row that I would kill a mob before it reached me. I used to brag to my friends about my ability to sort of, not really, one-shot mobs with nothing but Smite. Yeah? I'm kind of a big deal. It was a good time to be a noob. Sometimes after that, I was taken in by some friendly players on our server and learned to play the game on a casual level. And that's where my noobishness came to an end. I even got to raid most raids apart from Black Temple and Sunwell before the end of the expansion. And since then I have raided in every patch that followed. Right now I'm rocking a Resto Druid and have moved quite away from trying to heal people with aiming. Thank you for reading my story. I hope you enjoyed it. I fucking love newbie stories because you just don't know any better. And that's what makes it amazing. We just don't know. We don't know more action bars? How would we know? Who reads the tooltips on the loading screen? I did, because I'm not an idiot. Come on. Come on. Come on. Get it together. Okay. I need you for the next one. At some points.
Just give me a shout, mate.
I will. I'll word you up. Because we're going to use the Urban Dictionary. Yeah. The Urban Dictionary. Okay. We're going nerdy. We're going nerdy. This is the basis of a bunch of friends who all gather at a card shop. Nothing wrong with that. Little bit of magic. Never hurt anybody. Maybe rock out some models and figurines and kick some ass and take some names. Of course, cool people only play Hearthstone.
Yes, mate.
Here we go. There are some characters in this. I'll pick them up as we go because they're not listed at the beginning. I got WoW at release and was 15, turning 16 in December. I played a lot of Warcraft 3 at the time, so the hype for WoW was very real for me. I'm a huge nerd and I remember everyone talking about WoW's imminent release during our Friday night magic. You know, I don't want to dwell on the nerdy aspects. I don't. But Friday night at the card shop should not be called Friday Night Magic. It shouldn't. It shouldn't be described as Friday night, because it sounds too cool. It does. Come on. We know it's nerdy, right? We all do nerdy things. Tomorrow is web show. Tomorrow is web show. I'm going to chill the fuck out. We're going to talk about games, and that's my Friday night. I'm not going to call it Friday Night Magic. Our card shop was deciding on a server to play on. When the game finally dropped, I couldn't for the life of me remember any of the information they talked about. And with the character creation screen waiting for me, just behind the realm selection screen, I made my educated guess to the server name and started making my character. An undead priest. The realm I guessed was Frostwolf, which was wrong. All my card shop friends wound up rolling on Gilneas. They also went Alliance. Brackets! What a bunch of pussies. Alliance, fucking pussies. Card shop, right? Come on. If you're a pussy in a card shop, you done goofed. Alright? Being a card shop pussy, you done goofed up somewhere. Because that's an accepting place. That's an accepting place. If you're a pussy in a card shop, you done fucked up. I made a male undead priest. And I mained undead in Warcraft 3. I don't remember why I went priest exactly, but once I got talents and saw the cruel mistress that was Shadow Farm, which is fair, Shadow Farm in Vanilla was fucking legit, by the way. It was so fucking cool. I knew I had chosen the right class. I hated the undead starting zone. Brill was bullshit. Gathering pumpkins and getting killed by zombies. But then there was one place way up north with windmills and banshees. Oh, that place sucked. After completing Brill, I remember getting to the Zeppelin, but I don't know why, I just did, and soon found myself in Durotar. Some deaths from falling off the flight path tower in Orgrimmar. We've all done it. We've all done it. I eventually found my way to the Barrens. I remember questing around Wailing Caverns when I was whispered by a troll shaman named Jetto. I was whispered by Jetto, who was the leader, which was really odd. Oddly enough, I still call him Jetto to this day. The other 3 members of the group were, okay, let's get some names up in this bitch. Okay, 3 people. I want to point out that one of these rogues was called Cloak. Right, Zargo, you're in. I know there's a J, but I'm going with Zargo. Negoth. And Hakor will do. There's loads of people in this story. Don't worry, we'll get you in. There's some... Whoa! Stop! It's all good. It's all good. Okay. I quickly learned that these were all Canadian stoners. Oh, sorry, Canada. I'm sorry. That they were all Canadian stoners. And that they were incredibly enamoured with me because my name was DC Green. They all thought it stood for Dr. Green Thumb, and basically they befriended me on the suspicion that I was, and brackets... Andy, can you read this phrase for me?
Shit. Well, Mad Blazer.
He is suspicious of being a Mad Blazer, smoking the dream. Mad Blazer.
That's something your granddad says when he catches you smoking pot.
What are you?
It's
a Mad Blazer?
Mad Blazer if I've ever seen
Mad
one.
Blazer. Truth be told, I'd never smoked weed in my life. But I played along, and off we went to Wailing Caverns. You thought it was cool, didn't you, to be a Mad Blazer? You thought it was cool to have the moniker of Mad Blazer. I don't remember how exactly Wailing Caverns went that day, but I know at one point I was asked to respect a holy for the subtlety talent, because the warrior, Zargo, was absolute shit. He took so much damage that I had to constantly heal him and would always pull aggro. That is the most vanilla fucking problem in the... You've no idea! If you started in fucking at least Wrath, you've no idea. In vanilla, you could heal the tank so much that you would take aggro off him. It was a thing. That's threat, right? Keep your fucking resolve, Blizz. Keep it. That's what we want. I want to heal so much. My tank is so fucking bad. My healing is out aggroing him. That's swag. I need to respec at Wailing Caverns level in vanilla to cope with this situation. Right? That's vanilla in a nutshell. That's the fucking shit right there. I did not feel that my healing was a fucking problem at hand. I didn't want to offend my new friends, so I did as they asked, and that's how I ended up leveling to 60 as holy. Those were the days. Those were the days. They weren't the days. Oh my god, the amount of time I healed people and saw mobs running at me. Oh my god. Zargo, the tank, became the bane of my fucking existence. I was an enchanter, and he was constantly begging me to enchant every new piece of gear he got. And he had no money. We all have that friend, right?
Fuck off. Like that.
Did you know me and Ghost once played Freelancer? I saved my money. Somebody spent it all upgrading his ship and then took all my money to do it better.
Because it worked for me.
But you did have a good-looking ship, though,
I
right?
did have a great-looking ship.
Good team. Good
Fantastic.
team. I gave him so many enchants out of pocket that thinking about it now actually makes me fucking sick. The other 3 guys were cool, though, and they all became very close friends in WoW. Close Canadian stoners. That's got to be the most chilled-out group of people in the history of man-fucking-kind. Team Canada, though. I finally hit 60, I want to say a couple of months after release, and this preacher is where I became like you. The fuck does that mean? What does that mean? What does that... Vanilla me or now me? Okay. I was a capped holy priest and in very high demand. Okay, been there. I remember applying to a Molten Core guild and got accepted instantly, which was difficult. I had to leave all my friends behind. I eventually went back to my friends because raiding just wasn't fun without them. But the seed that I was a necessity and good at the game because I was a holy priest was planted. So fucking dangerous to be a holy priest in vanilla. You can do anything. You can do anything. I remember getting into newly formed NC guilds and brought all my friends with me. It wasn't long before the size of our egos eventually brought down the guild after our first Lucifron kill. I don't even remember what pissed us off, but I imagine it was something stupid and we all quit en masse and watched the guild burn to the ground. I did indeed do something very similar. It's a bummer, man. 40-man raiding, not mentioning any games, has a lot of drawbacks. I'm not saying that 40-man raiding in any particular game might not be as good as you imagine, but 40-man raiding in certain games isn't all it's cracked up to be. For reference, watch my video on it. Just saying. Just saying. We ended up... right, this is the weirdest sentence ever. We decided that we would search for a server that had the least progression. The least progression. I want to find the worst server. I've never heard anybody say that. Ever. We ended up choosing Smolderthorn because it had one Alliance guild in Molten Core. And we, for some reason, wanted to go Alliance. It has one guild. That's putting all your eggs in one fucking basket. The point we re-rolled was also the same time at which my 11-year-old brother got his own PC and a copy of the game. And so a really, really noob male human paladin was added to our ranks. I also found out 2 friends from school playing and they joined us in our re-roll. Right, okay. I'm going to need you in a sec when you're done. Right, I can use these names because these names don't exist anymore. Our male gnome mage friend was called Crowd Control, which was a really good mage name. But he didn't pick it because he was a mage. He picked it because of the Urban Dictionary definition of crowd control and not because mages had polymorph. The Urban Dictionary... if you could. The Urban Dictionary states that crowd control is...
It was highlighted there?
Yep.
A crowd control was when you ejaculated on a woman so hard that she flew back into a wall as if sprayed by a firehouse.
Fire hose.
That says firehouse.
Not all English people write to me.
Okay. Sprayed by a fire hose that was used to control crowd during the civil rights movement. So crowd control is ejaculating on someone with
so hard,
so much force.
Wait, with ferocity.
Nice.
With such ferocity. But then, wait there, my other no male warrior friend, named Ball Koozie,
nice,
which according to the Urban Dictionary means...
was when you placed your balls into a warm glass of milk and a woman blew bubbles into it through a straw, effectively making a jacuzzi for your balls. That's genius, by the way.
You could not say you would have that done.
Why wouldn't you?
That is so weird.
Put it this way.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
It's so fucked up.
Cleopatra used to have baths in milk to have silky smooth skin. Imagine doing that for your balls once a day.
Once a day. I demand it once a day.
Yeah.
Once a day.
With a willing partner and just sit there raiding in a ball koozie.
I'm raiding a ball koozie. Oh, that's a wipe. It's turned to cream.
Oh.
Your blowing has created a cream. It's a wipe. It's a wipe. Get out. Get out. What a bad ball koozie. Nothing worse than a bad ball koozie. You feel me?
Bad ball koozie. No one likes a bad ball koozie.
I should also mention that Jetto and I were really into PvP. At this point, we both rolled male Night Elf Druids because they were great in Warsong Gulch and because Travel Farm for leveling. Look at the Canadian pipeline. Don't. Oh, I loved the ball koozie. I don't remember much during the leveling process other than ball koozie and I were always breaking crowd control's polymorphs. The irony. The irony. Because we knew they would always break loose and kill him. It was funny because I believe druids only had combat res at the time, so I could only resurrect him once every 30 minutes. Isn't that funny? That they had to run back in ghost form all the time? I don't think anyone has ever ran through Sunken Temple as a ghost more times than him. That sounds hilarious. That sounds so fucking funny, dude. Like, can't even, no. You're a great friend. When we hit 60, we immediately formed a raiding guild. Of course you did. You think it's new, don't you? You think it's new that people are making 10-mans willy-nilly. It's about as old school as it gets. You just needed more people. I immediately quit my druid because they were boring as fucking PvE. What? Rank 4 healing touch? Are you fucking crazy? There's nothing boring about rank 4 healing touch. That's how it rolls. I fell back on old habits and rolled a priest, but this time leveled a shadow. I remember it took me 3 weeks to get to level cap, but I eventually did it while my guild made progress in the MC. I think the guild eventually broke up because we formed 2 different leveling guilds. Our name was Sadistic Fusion. We thought that name was so clever. What's the worst guild name you've ever seen?
The worst?
Yeah. Naga Stole My Bike?
Probably.
It's bad, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's bad. Naga Stole My Bike is fucking bad. It's a terrible fucking name. By this point, poor old Jetto had quit WoW because druids were shit and he didn't want to level again. I don't remember what my brother was doing, but he was 12, so it isn't important. Ball Koozie, though, and Crowd Control, the stars of our story, ended up in the same guild, which was making steady MC progress. I ended up in some shit guild. He had a terrible raid leader, but was still managing to kill things. In this guild, I met 2 female Night Elf warriors. 1 girl and 1 boy. And we'll go. Let's have... The lady can be Wendy. It's the only lady I trust who's actually in the chat. The girls need some representation. I need a guy who... I need a GIRL. Who's a GIRL? There's got to be a few GIRLs up in this bitch. Alright, let's see if we can find a girly name who's a GIRL. Where a Wheat Launcher? Not going to get it done. Monkey Shine? That has implications. Custard? Custard. Lalorian. It's a lady name. A little bit elfish. Lalorian will do. Lalorian. I met 2 female Night Elf warriors who went by the name of Wendy and Lalorian. Wendy was a girl. Lalorian was a guy. And they had some kind of thing going on over event that was supposed to be a secret, but everyone knew. Wendy, Lalorian, you're getting your E-blowjobs on. I wonder if you can do an E-ball koozie. Pow! Mind blown! An E-ball koozie. I'm just talking about an E-ball koozie. Let's do it. Let's do the E-ball koozie. An E-ball koozie. That sounds like something Japan would develop. Technologically, an E-ball koozie. An Oculus Rift mixed in. Virtual E-ball koozie. Get your swag on. Totally worth all the fucking money. Oh, Denzel. I somehow became good friends with these guys. I also now had a class leader. Something I had never had before. I don't remember his name, but I think he was a piece of shit. I actually didn't really like anyone. You are sounding a lot like me. I thought I was hot shit, and rightfully thought everyone else was dog shit. Especially my class leader. Anybody who tries to tell me what's up is a piece of shit.
Is a knobhead.
I thought to myself, I should be the class leader. And then I thought to myself, I could actually run this whole fucking guild better than all these idiots.
I like this.
Sounds
guy.
a lot like me, actually.
I like
It
this
does
guy.
sound a lot like me. This sounds very much like Vanilla Me. Preach, you did that wrong. Oh, no. I now hate you. You're a massive noob. For months, my hatred boiled beneath this boiling hatred. Wow. Beneath the surface, we clumsily cleared up to Golemagg. Time and time again. I remember this was around the time that Lord Kazakh was released. I started hearing about a priest-only staff that dropped off Major Domo. But that you needed the Eye of Kazakh and the Eye of Domo to make the staff. Such a good quest. My heart sank when I heard this because my guild was not good enough to kill Lord Kazakh. Because the top Horde guild had it monitored 100% of the time and we sucked. This is when I became obsessed with this staff. I was obsessed with the benediction too. I was so fucking obsessed with it. It was all I ever talked about. That and how shit the guild was and how great I was. I'm so good and you're all bad. I deserve it! I deserve the staff because everybody else around me is fucking terrible. Somehow I learned that my class leader managed to buy his way into a Kazakh kill and get the eye. I was so angry because I knew now that if the eye dropped, I would not be the first to get it. I then later learned that you could get the eye of the demons in Winterspring, which is where I got it. Being holy, I couldn't kill them, so I enlisted the help of Wendy and Lelorian. Oh, they're gonna go fuck those demons. I remember the next week we killed Golemagg and made our way up to Major Domo. I was so excited to see if we could kill him, which turns out we actually did. The loot was linked and I gushed as the eye made the list. My class leader began to speak up in Vent, announcing that he had the other half of the staff and that it should be immediately looted to him. Before the raid leader had a chance, though, I ghosted the motherfucker. I slammed all my DKP down on the table in a bid for the eye. Boom, motherfucker! Kiss my ass! DKP talks. Class leaders walk.
Oof.
Boom!
Oh.
Boom!
Ow.
Take your names, son. Take your names. I slammed my DKP down on the table in a bid for the eye. My class leader was speechless. He didn't understand what was going on. True ghosting leaves in confusion. Did I just have sex? What the hell just happened? As I walked up to the loot master, I opened the loot window and showed him that I had the Eye of Shadow. It turns out that on my way to Kazakh, Wendy and Lelorian had already killed one of the demons, and guess what? The first mob they killed had dropped the eye. Suck on that, bitch, I said over Vent as I looted the eye. Nothing like rubbing it in after. You've got to get the final words in, right? Really sting it to him. Suck on that, bitch. Oh, happy day. I was so excited to do my staff quest. I had prepared all sorts of holy water and potions and crap. Fire potions. Got to get your fire potions for that quest. I had read up about it so I could do the quest. I remember it took me 3 tries, you fucking noob. Ah, you fucking noob. Didn't one-shot it? Amateur priest. Clicker, probably. Makes me sick to know that it took you 3 tries. But I eventually walked away with that awesome staff and I couldn't be happier. It's caused a lot of animosity between me and my class leader. But I just called the guy a bitch over and over again in front of 38 other people. As far as you can guess, I didn't care. I'm the class leader, I should have got it. Bitch. You're being a bit of a bitch about it. Being a bit of a bitch. Not only that, but for the next few weeks, the guild struggled on Rag. And much to my happiness, the eye didn't drop again, but the Hunter Leaf dropped repeatedly. There's nothing better than the Hunter Leaf dropping over and over again. Not got your staff yet, eh?
Ouch.
It kind of sucks. Have you seen Anathema? Look what it can do. Boom. Can change it back though. Boom.
We've got this nice leaf though.
Yeah, why don't you
Wanna
take the
leaf?
leaf and feel a little bit better about yourself? Cool leaf.
Any more than leaves?
Eventually, though, the lackadaisical attitude of the guild towards downing Rag began to bother me. What, now you've got your staff? Now you've got your staff. The lack of progress is starting to annoy me. Now I loot priority in DKP. Let me just to be clear, now you've spent all your DKP and got the only item of worth to you, the guild's lack of progress is now kind of an issue. I just want to put it out there that I'm less interested in raiding with you. Weird how that happens, right? I got everything I wanted and now I can't get anything new, so now I'm just not that into you anymore. So I plotted to destroy the guild. See, I never did that. It started with, of course, Wendy and Lelorian, as it always did. What does that mean? That is an interesting little addition to that sentence. It started with them as it always did. What does that mean? There's implications there, isn't there?
There's backstory that we're just
There's an
not privy to
implication
at
there
this minute.
that Wendy is a goer. I just want to put it out there. Hey, we're all thinking it.
We're all-
We're all thinking it. We're all thinking it. Because it always starts with you. It always does. I started to sow the seeds of destruction and plotted the guild leader's mutiny. And then reached out to Balkuzi and Crowd Control, making a comeback. Who had also been gearing up in MC. I whispered them messages such as, I am going to kill this guild. I've got a suggestion for you. What? I'm going to kill this guild, right? I'm just going to put it out there, cards on the table. I'll pull as many members as I can to make a new one. You think it's a new thing, don't you? We'll take the best of best and we'll make a new guild and it'll be all good. It'll be all good. Are you guys in? Hell yeah, they said, and began to secretly recruit unhappy members from their guild as well. I remember pretty clearly that it was December 30th. 30th of the 12th. In proper date order. Which was my birthday. Oh, that sucks! Birthday on December 30th? Cut that. Cut that. And despite hating the guild I was in, all I wanted for my birthday gift was to kill Ragnaros. What did your parents say when you asked for that for your birthday? Card shop. Let's not forget where our roots came from. Card shop. I'm joking. We never did though. We never did him. No birthday for you. So I put my plan into action and killed 2 guilds on my birthday and formed my new baby, which would become to known as, drumroll, Direct Defiance.
Gay!
Direct Defiance. Cool name, bro. Cool fucking name. Best guild name, Direct Defiance. It sounded so cool at the time. Did it? Did it really? But I was 17, so you know, whatever. God, you're cool. Naturally, I made myself GM, and my 2 friends became officers. Best guild to be a part of. It was also at this time that I recruited my noob paladin brother to the guild, whose name I should mention. Who wants to be a fucking noob? Who's a noob? Any noob? Saint Flared? Total noob name. I'm joking. I don't know. You could be good at the game. Probably not. I'm going to actually go with Wigster, because it's Dat Wigster. I'm joking, man. Go with Dat Wigster. I should also mention that we had irregular raid attendance. No! You broke up 2 guilds and took people you supposedly thought were the best, and then you didn't have regular raid attendance? That is weird! Did you only recruit exactly 40 people as well? Which is the way it goes. I do constant... Oh, hang on a minute. I should have read the end of the sentence. I take it all back. I should also mention that we had irregular... I just didn't see this coming. I got blindsided. I should also mention that we had irregular raid attendance due to constantly being banned for saying racist things in Blackwing Lair general chat. It's just one of those issues you don't come across every day. I can't raid this week because, again, I've been banned for being a racist. It's a constant issue. The ongoing problem of Blackwing Lair racism.
It happens.
And that's why you are Direct Defiance against the system, right? The guild name works on so many levels. I mocked it at first, but now it's mixing it all in. It's mixing it all in. Them racist things. We found out later that it was people in our own guild reporting them. No shit. No shit. That's pretty normal. Don't be that surprised. That's pretty normal. Yeah, first world WoW problems. My friends keep saying racist things. I took about 20 people from my own guild. Balkuzi and the crowd control managed... I like the way their names got shortened to Balls and CC. Balls and CC managed about the same, also managing to poach their second and third best geared tanks, which are a pretty big deal in MC. That might gear. That might gear. Because geared tanks were pretty hard to find. It's not just anybody who can rock that +5 fire resistance. You know what I mean? It's kind of an important thing. I also made myself raid leader. Of course you did. Which might sound kind of a dick, but I was pretty confident I could lead this organised band of misfits to glory. And I did, as we killed Rag in 2 weeks under my command. Things were looking up. I was the GM of a Rag guild. I had my staff. I had my friends. My brother was around sometimes. That's the end of the sentence. I have everything. I'm a GM of a Rag guild. I have my staff. I have my friends. My brother is around sometimes. End of sentence.
The end.
Horizon. Things were good. Except I was still in high school. Sound familiar to anybody? And I had 2 parents who just did not understand the kind of responsibility being a GM is. And they would always pull me away in the middle of raids to force me to sit down and eat dinner with them. I had everything. Except the ability to not eat dinner at the right time. Best GM. I've got everything. My brother's around sometimes. I have to leave the raid as the raid leader and GM. Setting a quality example to go and eat my dinner. No big deal though. No big deal. Whenever I left the raid would die. Instantly. I'll be back in 5 minutes. Boom. Just everybody falls to the floor. It's like Saving Private Ryan. So we've been lucky to get 3 hours of raiding in some nights. We did manage to make it to Cremagus in Blackwing Lair, but eventually the guild collapsed under these conditions, and I was ruined once again. Word of my initial treachery sped across the server quickly as you can imagine. This was back when server communities were tight-knit. I was soon blacklisted from all the best guilds. Luckily for my brother and friends, they were able to secure new raid spots in upcoming guilds. I, however, grabbed a handful of people still dumb enough to follow me. Good description. I grabbed the dumb fucks who still believed in me and joined a terrible pre-Domo guild, which in my arrogance, I destroyed as well. If you're keeping track, that's 3 now, 4 if you count my own guild that I've destroyed in vanilla alone and only made it to Cremagus. Worth it. But you got a benediction, right? And your brother's around sometimes? Big deal. This is where the story gets really bad. Or I should probably mention some other important characters. Alright, told you we had plenty of people up in this one. Let's start with the 2 priests that were in my guild under my command, as I not only was a GM and raid leader, but I was also the priest class leader, and I was a bastard. Anyway, these priests were named... Let's have 2 priests, probably girls. A little bit of misogyny for the ladies. The ladies love a bit of misogyny, keep them keen. Let's throw in Araxis, you're in. And who's ladylike? Looking for a ladylike? Sonata, that will do. Sonata! Okay, we have 2 priests who were both from Viva Las Vegas. They were named Araxis and Sonata. One was a boy and one was a lady, and they developed a thing online which turned into a thing IRL. There was also another mage. I need a slutty name. Smurf? No. QB? No. I'm joking. Alright, well, oh, Sophia. Not that that's a slutty name, it's just a lady name. I didn't expect to see such a ladylike name. Thank God as well, this name is horrific. The actual character name is awful. Oh. There was also a mage named Sophia, who I started becoming close with. She showed me a pic of her which can only be described as a hot skinny blonde with giant fake boobs.
Yes!
Sophia, you just won. Too sweet. Too sweet. You are in fact polished up Bristol fashion. Very nice. So obviously fake picture. Hey, supermodel playing WoW. Kaboom. You got a Twitch channel? No? Then it's not true.
You're me.
You are lying. Oh, you're a beautiful girl playing WoW with no Twitch channel. I'm joking. I'm generalising. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Casey Tron. Stop it.
Oh.
Needless to say, we started a thinking game. Sophia! Yeah, baby. Needless to say, she was so hot, we started a thinking game. Whoa, you're so hot IRL, I want to get virtual with you. Our online relationship developed pretty quickly, as I'd never had a girlfriend before. Aw, things are moving pretty quickly. And was overcome by having female attention. Ah, good man. Good man. It didn't take long for her to start feeling guilty, though, and show me real pics of her. Damn it. That fucking reality, though. That reality setting in. I remember a drama time where someone was doing something naughty with a dog, and they threw up.
Yeah.
We did do that story. Well, these pics had no dog, and I still threw up. Sorry, Sophie. Sophia. Hey, it's not my story, right? It's not my story. Why hate on me? I didn't do it. I told her that we had to end our relationship, and she was devastated. No. I was also pretty devastated, and in my desperation to keep female attention, I continued to eat date her for 2 years. I'm breaking up with you, IRL, but in game, things are still getting frisky. I spent lots of time over those 2 years having Skype sex until TBC came out.
Yeah.
Well, gotta do something, right? Gotta do something. Banned from every guild. Might as well have Skype sex until TBC comes out. There's a plan. For those of you bored with Mr. Pandaria, have you heard about our new thing? Skype sex. Skype sex will keep you well busy until Warlords of Draenor. Now it's gonna get really bad. Okay. I'm now 18. 18. And it's April. And spring break is approaching.
Spring break. Woo!
I love that. So good. Sophia and I are still together and still playing WoW. Only I have gone back to my Horde priest and she stayed on her Alliance mage because she refused to play Horde. I won't lie, my life was pretty shitty at this point. I lost all my friends in school because my online relationship made me alienating. I'm more weird and introverted than I ever thought possible. But it gets worse. Sophia had an accident IRL, which fucked her up pretty badly. Well... Sorry, Sophia, you're not having a good day. I'm sorry, if you just joined and you don't know who I am, I really apologise. If you've been to the channel for a while, though, you should have expected it. It turns out that Sophia had a husband who knew about our online relationship. He even joined Bent to tell me that she was kind of goofed up. Excuse me, is this my wife's e-boyfriend? Yeah.
She's fucked.
She's fucked. She's mashed up. She's all kinds of goofed. So things are over. Okay. It's kind of goofed. Anyways, I still kept in touch with the people I played WoW with on Smallthorn. And one of these people was Sonata, who had just broken up with Araxis. These are the guys from Las Vegas. Well, I lived in California. She lived in Sweet Vegas, which was only a 4-hour drive away, and spring break was coming up, so I devised my plan to fuck her.
Yes!
I devised a plan to have sex with you. It's a complicated plan, but worrying on many levels. I'm going to drive to your house where we will have sex. It sounds really epic and sneaky. Oh, he says that. But really, I just talked to her for a few days leading up to spring break, convinced her to give me nudes, then convinced her to let me drive to her house to bang. Gotta say, Sonata, you didn't put up much of a fight. You and my girl are doing it right. My plan was in motion. I got into the car, step 1. Drove to Vegas, step 2.
Banger!
And this was the best quest I ever received via WoW. The quest was to lose my virginity. 18. I'm joking. Lose it whenever you feel comfortable. Did you hear that shit?
Nerd!
My quest is to lose my virginity during spring break. Yeah, baby. When I got there, though, oh boy. She was not good looking at all. I love this story. It's so good. It says like she was not good looking at all. Full stop. Then, holy shit. Full stop. I remember she answered the door and I almost turned around and left, but then I remembered sex. I wasn't going to lie. I wasn't going to drive for 300 miles and not lose my virginity.
That's a fucking truth. That is legit. I'm getting my money's worth.
On balance, I'm staying. I don't remember it being that awesome. I think I was happy. I finally had sex, but at what cost? At what cost? Wasn't that bad, though. She ended up taking me to see the Blue Man Group.
Winner! Yes!
How's the sex? Meh. But
Blue Man
Group, right? Free tickets as well, motherfucker. Stick to the plan. What do we do, sir? We stick to the plan. It's like he's talking to his dick. On the drive back home, though, I got a call from Sophia. She had come back to her senses and were not pleased that I had freely given my virginity to Sonata. Sex and a show? Wow.
Winner.
What a good day.
I know.
I had promised my virginity to Sophia. On multiple occasions, in fact, over those 2 years. I was now in a quandary. I remember when I got home, I immediately tracked down Araxis because I had a new plan that I wanted to set into motion. The plan was to try and reunite Sonata and Araxis because it turned out Sonata was kind of a stalker and creepy. Turns out, bit of a freak. I needed to fixate her gaze onto someone. I love that. Fixate her gaze onto someone else, and what better candidate than the guy she's already fucked? The "Hey Araxis, guess what? I banged your ex, but would be interested in taking her off my hands for me" conversation was definitely a weird one. Obviously, it didn't go along those lines, but the message went across. After a lot of yelling and conversation, he was on board to win her back. As you can imagine, it didn't really pan out for them, but I remember tricking Sonata into a 3-way Skype call with Araxis and me, and when she connected, I just instantly hung up the phone and let them sort it out. I never spoke to either of them again. Clutch. Alright. Sad to say I got back with Sophia. Why? I know you don't want to hear it, but it happened. Then I convinced my parents to buy me a plane ticket to go and see her. Oh yeah. I remember that as soon as I got off the plane and saw her, I wanted to get back on the plane. The first 2 girls in my life were total dogs. She was abnormally tall. Brienne of Tarth? Like
Is that you?
Like 6'2". That's not abnormally tall.
For a chick? Are you kidding? That's taller than you. What, are you like 5'11"?
Wait, 4'6" and a half and a deuce. 6'2's a nice height. Well, I was 5'10". Oh, you're a bit of a bitch.
You're a bit of a bitch.
5'10", huh?
Ah.
5'10's average. And she probably weighed 200 to 250 pounds to my 140. Oh, no!
She's
Whoa!
a fucking wrestler.
Whoa! Whoa! China? China turned up. China's in the house. Yuck. I haven't heard anybody use yuck in years. I love it. She did have fake boobs, though.
Yes.
That part was, in fact, truth. But when you get implants when you weigh 130 pounds, by the time you break 200, your body absorbs them. So I can't really say I even got to bang a chick with fake boobs because you honestly couldn't tell. You couldn't even feel them under all that skin and fat.
Oh, no. What? Ah.
I love it. So wrong. I prepared to stay with her for 2 weeks. I left after 5 days. I just knew that it's not going to work, so I packed my bags and she took me to the airport. She did let me put it in her butt, though, before I left.
Yes!
At the time, I was like, yay! On reflection, though, not so much.
Not for me.
It's like, I just don't find you attractive. I think I'm going to go anal. You know what?
I suppose I've got half an hour.
I'm not going to say no, because it would be weird if I didn't. But, you know, let's do it. Let's bring this on. 140-pound man, banging the 250-pound, 6'2" lady.
Adonis.
Must have a pretty decent length. Because you can imagine
Because you couldn't get past the cheeks.
the cheeks are an issue.
Unless there was mass parting.
Probably a spreader involved. She could have done it herself. Best ladies.
Sellotape on each butt cheek, mate, and pull them like reins.
Now we think about it, we should engineer a device. We could make millions.
I've already done it, mate. Give me some sellotape. I'll show you now.
Yeah, come here. Alright, it's going to get dark. I'm not going to end the story on a fun note.
Oh.
You know why? Because I can.
Fuck this game and listen to the end of this now. So he's fucked this fat chick in the ass.
He got anal and then he went home. I was back in California and I'd like to say this is the end, but there's a tiny bit more. A few days after I got back, Sophia called me saying she needed to talk and it was serious. She took some pregnancy tests, multiple, and came up positive.
Which one's Sophia, the fat chick with the big titties?
Just know her as the anal girl. Yes, with the fat.
Is he sure it was her ass then?
Do you know what anal is?
Now,
A query.
question. No, that was the question.
Oh, that was the
Carry on.
question. I was 18 and not prepared to move away off to the swamps of Florida to raise some kid on a gator farm. What a boy! What a boy!
You've been playing the foosball!
Yeah. I told her, let's not have it. She didn't like the sound of that, but she agreed it would be the best thing to do. Yeah. She called me a few days later and told me she took a bunch of new tests, better tests, which came out negative. Awesome, I thought. I mean, it didn't really change my mindset very much, but at least she wasn't going to have to live with that choice, you know? Now you've turned into a nice guy. It's what's best for her. You getting this abortion is what's best for you. Do you know what I mean? Do you hear what I'm saying to you? Because I'm a nice guy. This guy's serious ghosting going on. No, I think you should do it for you. Let's do it with me.
This guy's legit.
It's so boyish. We officially ended the relationship and our communication eventually tapered off into nothingness. TBC was coming out though. Good news. TBC was coming to a close at the time of my story when I got a call from Sophia months later. I really wasn't expecting it, but we left on pretty good terms. I thought, so what the hell, I'll pick it up and say hi. We caught up a bit and then she decided to tell me that she didn't actually have a negative response to the tests. So how's it going? Good.
That was perfect.
How's the gators?
Bye.
They're snapping. These gators are snapping. Still was really pregnant. Kind of a thing. But she did have the abortion. Yeah, so why are you laughing?
That's hilarious.
It's a dark story, man. That was honestly the last time I talked to her.
Wait, so she said she weren't pregnant, but she was pregnant, so she had the abortion, so she rang him up then to say that she was pregnant, then she had the abortion. Why fuck with a guy like that?
Gatorade.
Fuck it, he got anal.
Gatorade!
He got anal.
He did get
no
anal.
Kids.
He did get anal.
That's victory.
Florida ladies, man. Boom. I know it's a lot to read, but I hope that it made for a good drama time. Please let me know if it qualifies to any kind of drama time Hall of Fame. That's a bold fucking question, son.
Who is?
Who are you? Who are you?
I'd put it there. I mean, it's the
So
first
come
time
on.
I've tuned in that's got
Maybe,
anal.
maybe. Also, I know that none of the people mentioning this story watch your show, so feel free to use the names I put down, as well as my own. This is my legacy, and I'm proud to have my name attached to it.
That was a well-written story.
It was a lovely story, right? We had everything in
Awesome
there.
story.
That's the culmination of drama time, baby. Drama time done right. I feel relieved. And I'm ready for some Spider-Man. But that's not all. We're not done for the weekend because in exactly 26 hours from now, if you're watching live, it is, of course, Web Show weekend. Some
How do you know
creaminess
that?
coming up.
That's 26 hours away.
How can you see the future? We will see you, me and this guy, in a... Your shirt isn't changing colour. That green screen, though, right? Doing it
That's
right,
really good.
isn't it? Nice head, though. Nice head, though. We will see you in 26 hours for much fun. Thank you to all those who took part. If your names were mentioned, remember, it's just a fictional story, or maybe it's not, but it wasn't really you. That's the important thing you've got to remember, all right? Take it easy. Have a great weekend. If you're not watching the web show tomorrow, you suck. But have a great weekend anyway. Do something fun. Do your dailies. Bye, guys.
Fuck dailies.